Three, two, one.
On.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, I am Anjel B Hartwell. I am here today with Lynda Sunshine West, who is our book publisher from Action Takers Publishing. And we are here today to talk about intuition in action, unveiling your story and transforming the world. I am so excited to be here with you today, Lynda. I just want to give a quick backstory. Lynda and I met many years ago at a live event, and she and I had dinner together. We were at a group having dinner together. And then ultimately, she ended up pitching to become a guest on my 13-time award winning, it's now 13 times, it wasn't back then, but 13-time award winning Wickedly Smart Women podcast. And as a result of her coming on as a guest, we ended up diving into and taking action and trusting our intuition, diving into collaborating together to create our first book, Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, and Transforming Worlds, which was a number one new release in 6 categories and got distinctions in 34 categories when we launched in January of 2023. And so we are here today to talk to you about the possibility of joining us for round 2 of this beautiful series of books, Wickedly Smart Women. And Lynda is going to take over the presentation. But before she does, I just want to say this is for you if you trust your intuition or want to trust your intuition even more, right? So one of the things that happened when Lynda and I first met was we talked about intuition, and for her, she's becoming more and more and more trusting of her intuition. It is also for you if you are somebody who either is already an action taker or aspiring to shift your life in a way that you become an action taker, in service to sharing your powerful story to uplift, inspire, and motivate other wickedly smart women. This is also for you if you are called and you know that you are someone who is here with a mission to transform a part of this world. You know, I like to think of the different worlds that we all are, you know, intersecting with. There's like, for example, the world of show dogs, and there's the world of tennis, and there's the world of book publishing, and there's the world of podcasting, and these are all different worlds. And so if you're here with a calling to transform either a world that you are a part of or a world that you have not yet, you know, put your stake in the ground in, but you know that you're here to transform it, then this is an opportunity for you to join us and to share your powerful story. So with that, I want to turn over the microphone to Lynda and welcome her to the stage. Welcome, Lynda. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much, Angel. And I love the things that you mentioned about trusting our intuition. This is something that I have intuition. We all have it, but I didn't trust it for decades. And boy, has my world changed
Hmm.
since starting to trust my intuition and then taking action on that intuition. So we're just honored and blessed. All the authors that we had previously, thank you for being part of volume number 1. I think we have one of our authors who's considering being in volume number 2 as well. So that's exciting right there, because this goes to show that it's not about being a one and done. This is about getting your message out there into the world over and over and over again. How are you transforming the world? What are you doing? What actions are you taking? And, it's interesting because your Action Takers Publishing, that name was actually born, Angel. I don't know if you know this, but the name was born out of the fact that I wasn't really much of an action taker. I definitely wasn't like a thoughtful action taker. I took action based on things that were scaring me more than being thoughtful about them. And I thought if I name my company Action Takers Publishing, I might attract action takers, and I therefore will become an action taker. And that's exactly what's happened. So it's been an interesting journey. And that's part of my story that I'll be sharing in volume 2 of the book, Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, and Transforming Worlds. Well, what I'm going to do, Angel, is I'm going to share my screen. Just going to show through a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation for you all. And if this is for you, you will know You will know. We're not here to pressure anybody. This isn't one of those, you got to get in today or your life is over kind of things. This is the trust your intuition. We want you to trust your intuition that we're the right people to be on this journey with you, to help guide you, to get your message, your story out there. And so I'm just going to share my screen here and let's see what it's all about. Okay, so first of all, as Angel mentioned, the book is Wickedly Smart Women. We're looking for women who want to share their story, their message in an anthology book where you share one story. Maybe you can incorporate two stories into that. You get 3,000 words in order to share your message. That's 3,000 words, and then 225 words for your bio. And literally, after you do that, you're done. We do the rest of the work behind the scenes to make it happen. So we're inviting you to be part of this book. Next is, I wanted to show, as Angel mentioned, the accolades. This is just a snapshot of some of them. This isn't all 34 of them, but these are, as you can see, we hit those, new releases in all these different countries. And, this was my favorite, Angel. We hit the Amazon gift ideas. Like that's the first time we hit that with any of our books. And so that was super special because those gift ideas, these are things that Amazon says this is worthy of gifting to people. So that was really cool right there. And so if you want to be part of something like this, then definitely stick around. You want to hear what we have to offer today. So one of the things we're going to talk about is, I'm going to just share the screen here really quick, and then we're going to talk about opportunities. Angel, I want to, let me see, take that off the screen there. Let's talk about opportunities. First of all, I know that you have been in many collaborative books yourself, as have I. I'm now I think I'm a 37 times #1 international best-selling author. And a lot of that is being in other people's collaborative books. I love this space. So let's talk about opportunities. What kind of opportunities have you yourself seen in being in collaborative books?
Great question. Well, I actually got started in the personal and professional development space when somebody reached out to me and invited me to be part of a collaborative book. That was my first toe in the water. And what it did was it gave me an opportunity to actually become an author. So, I've done 23 or 24 or 26. I've lost count at this point of how
Yeah.
many collaborative books that I've been in. But the very first time that you have an opportunity in front of you to become part of a collaborative book, it actually gives you the rite of passage and the right to claim the title author. And so it's really a beautiful opportunity to not only claim that, to claim authorship, if you haven't already. We also are providing the opportunity here to claim bestseller author, best-selling author. And we are also providing the opportunity to support you to further trust your intuition and to become the person, like you said, Lynda, who starts to trust their intuition more and more, or to become the person who takes action more and more, or to become the person who is transforming worlds in more powerful and potent ways. So really the opportunity here, on the face of it, it looks like you're going to write 3,000 words and we're going to publish a book and we're going to have fun and we're going to do marketing and all of those things. But at the deeper level, the opportunity here that we're calling you into is the opportunity to claim a part of yourself that has yet to be materialized in the physical world. And when you claim your authorship, and certainly when you claim your bestseller authorship, that opens doors that would otherwise not be available to you. So that's just a little bit that I want to say about opportunities here.
Yeah, definitely. I agree 100% on all of that. And I want to share, I actually met Action Takers Publishing. We have a VP of author development, Sally Larkin Green. I met her in a collaborative book. We were both in a book. She reached out to every single person in that book, and she and I ended up connecting, as well as her connecting with other people. And it all morphed into this partnership that we have. And it's just a beautiful journey that it's been. And that the very, very first collaborative book that I was in, I was actually kind of scared to be in it, but I took that leap because I felt like there was something I needed to do. My mentor was heading it up. I wanted to follow in my mentor's footsteps. So I joined that book for that only reason. And I'm so glad, because that's what's led to everything that I'm doing today. It really has, it was like that catalyst, that jumping off point, and so if you're feeling like scared that, I'm not really sure if I want to do this or what to do, don't worry, we got you covered. We know what we're doing. Both of us have, multiple best-selling books, and so we're here to help you and guide you along that journey. So let me share what one of our authors, Debbie Peterson, said. She said it's opened doors to celebrity ghostwriting, a film series on another book, TV appearances, a blog, and she's in the governmental space. And so she says it's assisted with a national justice project. So these are just some of the things that opened up doors for Debbie. So the next thing about collaborative books is, guess what? Collaboration. Of course, collaboration. It's all about the collaboration, because this is what you're able to gain from being in a collaborative book. So let's talk a little bit about collaboration, Angel. Let's go ahead.
Right. Well, I want to start by saying that, you can't do anything all by yourself. Let's be clear. And unfortunately, in Western culture, there's a lot of conditioning that says you should be able to be ruggedly independent and do things by yourself. But we live in an exponentially more complex world, number one. And number two, collaboration is an opportunity to, again, open doorways that you would otherwise not have access to. So just as the example that you gave of Debbie, she's now writing for Psychology Today, which is a
Yeah.
huge opportunity as a result of being in this book. But more importantly, what ends up happening with collaboration, especially when you're going through a rite of passage, right? Especially when you're becoming something that you haven't been before, to do it with others actually helps that to cement even more powerfully in your psyche. And it also allows you to be in a space where everybody can cross celebrate one another. And when we celebrate one another and we uplift one another, then the journey becomes much more fun, much more easy, much more enjoyable, much more pleasurable. So there's so many side benefits. And people who come into collaborative books end up, as you did with Sally, potential business partnering. There's just so much potential from collaboration that this would just be the beginning. Let's be clear that when you come together in this kind of a project, it's literally just the beginning of what's possible for you in terms of the relationships and the networks that you end up being able to participate in, right?
Yeah, definitely. And what I love about that is that really it's up to us. It's up to
Mm,
every single one of us to make that connection, right? Or to receive the connection that's being sent our
mm,
way. And so, what I love about doing these collaborative books, especially, is that they're themes. And so,
mm,
what this means is that you're going to be in a book with other women who trust their intuition,
mm,
take action, and transform worlds. So now you're already immediately, brought into an environment of like-minded people. And
mm,
that's one thing I think is really important for us to realize, that I could go to a networking event and there's going to be a whole bunch of different types of people there, which is awesome. But do I relate to all of them? Because we're coming from different backgrounds. So I got to go get to know them even, harder. Like it's harder to get
mm,
to know them and to connect with them and to collaborate with them, because I got to find out who they are, what they're all about. I got to find out all that. By being a collaboration book, that first barrier of entry of who are you, what are you all about, has already been broken down. It's like, okay, we all trust our intuition.
mm,
We all take action, and we're all transforming worlds. And so you're already immediately brought into an environment of like-minded people. And that's one of my favorite pieces of this, because it makes it, for a person like me who has spent so many years of my life being scared to talk to people, this takes that first piece out of the equation and
mm.
makes it easy for me to talk to those people. So that's one thing I just wanted to share about that. So let's see what one of our authors has to say about the collaborative book that she was in. She was in the Wickedly Smart Women, Volume 1. And she said she was in a collaboration book earlier last year, and it was a waste of money for her as far as she was concerned. There was no follow-up, no cohesiveness, no collaboration among the authors, and it was distant. You are not. She says, keep up the way you're doing things. You're getting a system and it's working. See, these collaboration books, one of the things that we do at Action Takers Publishing is even after the book is published and during the process of the book being published, we provide opportunities for you to meet authors, not only in this book, but also authors amongst all of our books. So there's ample opportunities for you to collaborate with other people. And we do have many of our authors that are collaborating with each other because they have attended these monthly meetings that we host. We actually host 2 of them a month now. We just started that this month. So 2 times a month, you have opportunities to meet other authors. So let's go to the next thing is fast, fun, and easy. Oh my gosh, of course. You want this process to be easy for you and, being fast, like taking all the labor out of it. And then the fun part, we bring the fun as well. So let's talk about fast, fun, and easy, Angel.
Well, we said earlier that we've both been in collaborative books. And, I had the idea of doing a collaborative book for the podcast, under the podcast brand for quite a while before I was willing to actually go down that route. And the main reason why I chose to work with you, with Action Takers Publishing, is because my experience of you as a human is that you enjoy life and that you enjoy having fun, and that it would be an easy, fun, and not just easy and fun, but you were serious about making sure that the promises were fulfilled that we gave to the people who decided to join us, to invest with us. And so for me, it's important that my brand reputation stays in a good place. And so I was very selective about who I chose to work with, and I wanted it to be easy for our authors. And so fun, easy, fast, the systems that you have in place really make it fairly simple for somebody who wants to participate. The only real work is for them to get the story out of them, and you have people in place that support even with that part.
Mm-hmm.
And then, from there, it's just participating and collaborating with the rest of the authors in the marketing aspect of the book. And you've got that whole system dialed in as well. Literally within 24 hours of having this book out on the market, we had #1 new release in 6 categories and distinctions in 34 categories. And the book is still ranking. Let me just, let people know the book is still ranking on Amazon, this first volume. The other thing I want to say specifically about volume 2 is that I've already planted seeds with the first authors in volume 1, that when volume 2 comes out, they're going to be cheering everybody in volume 2 on, because now it's part of a larger, it's an extension of this series. So you're becoming part of the family of book 1 authors as well. All of those authors are going to be supporting, helping, cheering on the authors of volume 2. So it's really important to know that this is not going to be a painful process for you.
Yeah.
It's going to get just easier. It's even going to be easier because Lynda has now dialed in her systems even more, and it's more efficient and more fun and more easy all the way around. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I second all of that, of course. And our the slogan we make publishing fast, fun, and easy actually came from our authors, because we had our own slogan. It was we take action so you don't have to. That was our original slogan. And as we were hearing testimonials from, whether it was video testimonials or written testimonials, we kept hearing those same words over again: fast, fun, and easy. And we're like, shoot, that's our slogan. They're giving us our slogan. So we make it fast, fun, and easy. And the idea here is that we want it to be as easy as possible for you. The fun and the fast, that come with it, but the easy part, because oftentimes it can be daunting to sit down and write your story. And I get it. I'm not a writer. I am not a writer, but I'm a 37 times #1 international best-selling author. And that's because I finally sat down and wrote. But I'm really not, I'm not a person that's going to be driven to write. And so Sally on our team, our VP of author development, she hops on calls with authors all the time to help them through that I'm not sure what to write about. I'm not sure where to go with this. Like, just to help to wrap it up or to get your story started, you're not alone. And that was one of the things Angel mentioned earlier. We can't do it alone. Well, we're here to support you along the journey. We want to make sure that the product that you put out is something that you're ecstatic about, because we want you to share it. If you're not happy with it, then why would you share it? So for us, it's very important that the energy from every single author is that they're ecstatic with their chapter. This is so important for me because our energy is in that book. And whatever we put out there is something that we want every single author to be proud to share. So just know that when it comes to the end and you're finalizing your chapter, we won't publish your story until you have approved it. And we're not going to push you to make it happen faster than you need it to happen, because especially this book, we're talking all about intuition, right? So we want to respect that and make sure that your story is the way that you want it told. And that's one of my favorite things of what we do, because Angel, that is such an important piece there that I've heard stories, from other people that have been in other publishing, other collaboration books, and they haven't had that same sort of experience. So yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, I do. I do want to also let people know that for some of you, might not be for all of you, but for some, maybe many of you, just the putting the story on paper can be a very healing and cathartic process. I do recall one of the authors from the previous book who sent us a testimonial and said it was an incredible healing for them to put their words on paper. So know that it's like a multidimensional experience to be part of a collaborative book, right?
Yeah, it really is. We had one author that wrote me, and she told me this experience that she had while she was writing her chapter. And she wrote me, she said, "You're not publishing books, you're changing lives." By the cathartic experience that she had. I won't go into her story, but it was absolutely incredible what happened from her sitting down to write her chapter. So this is one of the things, that is what excites me the most, is that, getting your story out there, because, you sharing your own story is where the transformation starts. It starts with you. So let's see what one of our authors has to say. Stacy Shiflett. She says the process was easy and the publisher and her team were fully supportive of the authors from start to finish. The experience opened doors of our own stories. And so really, that's what we're here to do, is to help you to get your story, your message out there into the world, to make that greater impact on the planet. That's what we're all about. So Angel, do you have anything else you want to say before we go to talking about the packages? Yeah,
I do. Speaking of impact on the planet, one of the things that we have chosen to do that Lynda brought to me when we started to collaborate together for these projects was that the sales of the books, the actual sales of the books, we have it set up where the authors, you can go sell as many of these books that you want on your own and take the money, for the book sales. And we have it set up so that if you choose to send people to buy the books through the publisher link, what ends up happening is literally all of the profits from it's all the profits, right?
100%. Yeah.
100% of the profits from the book sales go to our charitable organization of choice, which is, in our case, the Life is Good Playmakers Foundation. And the Life is Good Playmakers Foundation is an organization that trains frontline childcare workers to help children to play again. And so that for me is also part of the fun, Lynda. When we talk about the fun, I want to be someone, and our co-authors want to be people who want to support frontline child care workers to help children learn to play again after they've been traumatized. And so, when you pair book sales with a socially good concept like, Life is Good Playmakers, you can make a huge impact that, wasn't even on the radar in terms of telling your stories, or any of the other things that we've already talked about may not have been on your radar. We actually sent from our book sales already over $1,500 to the Life is Good Playmakers Foundation. And that was months ago. So I know that the way Lynda does it, it's like every year or every 6 months, she goes in and takes the money and sends it off to them. So I just want to let people know that there is a social good impact that happens from participating in this book as well.
Yeah, and the Life is Good playmakers, they help the childcare workers. But I remember there was a story I saw about them that right after the Ukraine war started, which was almost 2 years ago, I found out just the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost 2 years ago. They immediately sent their playmakers out to Ukraine. This is a worldwide endeavor. It's not just in the United States. So I wanted to make sure I share with you that it is a worldwide thing that they're doing, and they're in a lot of different countries. Do you have any idea how many countries they're currently in?
I don't off the top of my head, but I know when there was a big earthquake in Haiti, they sent a team of playmakers to Haiti to work with the children directly that had been traumatized. So when we're talking about children who've been traumatized, we're talking about serious traumatization
Yeah.
like war, or I know Hurricane Katrina, they sent people down there then as well. So yes, it is an organization that is having global impact.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So they're a great organization, and Angel, you've been working with them for many years. So it's not like it's a like you chose a nonprofit out of the air. This is an organization that you've actually been working with. You've seen the work they do, and so I think that's beautiful right there. That again, it's not just and she didn't just choose a nonprofit out of the hat.
Well, and yeah, let me just be even clearer that the Life is Good Playmakers is also the social arm of the Life is Good company, which is $100 million brand. So it's not just a standalone nonprofit charitable organization. They are an extension of the Life is Good brand. So it's, got longevity and sustainability as well. So it's the money is going to something that is going to be
Yeah,
useful. Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. So the next thing I want to do is we're going to show you what you get when joining us in this Wickedly Smart Women, Trusting Intuition, Taking Action, Transforming Worlds book. This is volume 2 that we're working on. So we have two different packages. One is the professional package. And with this one, you become part of the Wickedly Smart Women community, become part of the Action Takers Publishing community. And Angela, do I have that right? Is it 13 times award-winning podcast?
Yes, ma'am. 13
Okay.
times.
And she's, Angel, why don't you talk a little bit about the panel interview that you'll be conducting?
Right. So this is for the people, if we are at the professional package level, what we do is we do a panel interview. So we have, I think it's 4 people. It's either 3 or 4 people. I think it's 4 people, and you each get a specific amount of time on the 13-time award-winning Wickedly Smart Women podcast. So you become an immediate guest as part of this package. And you then get to actually put on your resume that you have appeared on a 13-time award-winning podcast that's also #1 internationally ranked and is in the top 1% of all podcasts across all categories worldwide, according to Listen Notes. So that's just an additional credibility add. And that's going to open doors for you to be speaking on other podcasts as well, if that's something that you decide that you want to do with your story to expand your brand, expand your business, expand your impact. So we love having our guests come on, and we do a special around the launch. All those panel interviews are going out all around the launch. So it's an additional boost to the launch at the same time.
And you have a waiting list to be on your
Oh, a
podcast, do
big a
you
big
not?
waiting list, a huge waiting list.
Yes.
I have hundreds of people that are pitching me daily at this point because the more awards we win and the more expanded. We're now downloading in 119 countries as well. We're
Wow.
actually running out of countries at this point. So yes, I have a huge list of people who are vying to be on the show, and this is a guarantee you will automatically be on the show. And then the other thing I want to say is, when we do this book, we're going to have around that whole launch, not just these interviews, but we are going to probably also incorporate some of the interviews from the previous book, because we want like the whole brand is going to be elevated with each new edition. Make sense?
Sure does.
Yeah.
I love that. It's branding, it's marketing, it's about getting our messages out there over and over and over again so we can help other people go through their situations that they're currently in. We want to help them. And so, in addition to that, you'll get an exclusive interview opportunity with me at Action Takers Publishing. And then we also provide additional interview opportunities We have published now over 500 authors, and many of them have their own shows, their own podcasts. And so what we do is we reach out to our community, ask if they have any availability to interview our authors. So there's always opportunities for that as well. And then you'll get a 30-minute one-on-one book marketing strategy call with me to talk about how you're going to use the book, how you're going to use your chapter in this book in order to help you to gain more visibility. So if that's something you're like, I don't really know how to market these things, that's when you want to hop on that call with me and find out how. Next thing that you're going to get in the professional package is, we talked about this already a little bit, collaborating with like-minded authors. These are all women. Again, they're all wickedly smart women who are trusting their intuition. If you want to connect with people like that, this is definitely a book for you. We create all of your marketing materials. And what's cool is that, Action Takers Publishing, we create marketing materials. And then Angel and her team, they also create marketing materials. So there's ample opportunities for you to share different styles, different designs. And so we're kind of like teaming together to make this happen, to create as much marketing materials for you that you can use. You don't have to use it all, but it's there for you to use. We also write the content so that you can literally just copy and paste. That's the easy part we keep hearing about. You made it easy to market this because I was able to just copy and paste. And then having many opportunities to share your message with the world by being the podcast interviews, interviews with us, other people that we have in our sphere of influence, as well as becoming an authority in your space and expand your brand recognition. Angel, I'd like for you to speak a little bit more about that as far as the expanding your brand recognition piece.
Right. So for some of our authors, I'm going to just use as an example Stacy Shiflett, who was in this first book. And we had a little quote from her. Stacy's brand is called Modern Consciousness. And when she came into this book, she was about a year in to building that brand out. And as a result of being in this book, she has now exponentially expanded her reach in terms of how many people are connecting with her and being added to her list. But she's also had multiple additional opportunities now to speak on podcasts, to speak on other stages, virtual events. And she has actually, I think she's added herself to another collaboration book by another publisher, which Jack Canfield is a part of. And because she had this experience with this book, it gave her the courage, and it also gave her the visibility to be selected for for a celebrity collaboration book, essentially. And it's going to allow anybody who chooses to be part of this, who has a brand, to amplify your visibility, to increase your bookability. Let me be clear about that. Let me help you to understand why it's so important to have your brand doing the heavy lifting for you. When your brand becomes amplified and people start to recognize the brand, just like with Wickedly Smart Women, you become a magnet. And instead of chasing for business, now you get to choose who you want to do business with, because the brand is acting as a leverage point. It's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you in terms of getting you great bookings on appearances on TV, on virtual events, on podcasts, on radio, as well as getting you clients booking with you. So, brand recognition is a really powerful tool that allows you as the brand creator to relax a little bit and let the brand do the heavy working.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I love that because, this work is not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be fun. And so if you have your brand aligned with, especially when you align your brand with other brands that are well known, that are reputable, this is really important too, is that when you're aligning yourself with reputable companies, then it kind of rubs off on you as well. And it becomes part of who you are. And so the next thing is the Amazon author page. The reason I put this on here is because creating it might be something you've already done, but have you thought of adding your Amazon author page to your bio. So for example, if you're going to be interviewed on different podcasts and different episodes or shows, that they ask you for your bio, include your Amazon author page link there, so that first of all, they know you're an author and they can go find your books. So any books that you've been in already, or if you're a first-time author, your one book will show up there, and you definitely want them to be able to easily go to your book and or books. And then last is to be part of the book promo party train. This is where it gets really, really super duper fun, is especially on the launch day. We are in the DMs of Facebook. You've created a group by now. You're part of the group. You're connecting with the other authors. And on launch day, we're going to let you know exactly what's happening, where we are ranking, which countries we're ranking in, which categories we're ranking in, what the ranking numbers are. And this is part of the fun because it really keeps the momentum going, and the excitement builds a lot on that launch day, especially. Leading up to it, it still builds, but on the launch day is when all hell breaks loose in a good way. Right, Angel?
Oh, yeah. Big party. I'm ringing my bell all day long.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so that's the professional package, and that's like the basic. That's everything you get by being in this Wickedly Smart Women book. And then next is the premium package. With the premium package, we're going to create a personalized video commercial for you of your chapter. So we're going to go through the entire chapter, and we're going to create a video that goes with it, and then we're going to get that to you. You also get an exclusive 2-person episode segment on the Wickedly Smart Women podcast. So you want to talk about that, Angel? How long is your podcast episode, just so everybody knows?
Right. So our podcast episodes are 30 minutes. And so with the 2-person panel, the first person gets the first half and the second person gets the second half. When I do the 4-person panel, I'm doing the interview kind of across all 4 people throughout the entire show. So the 2-person segment, the first person gets the first half of the show, and the second person gets the second half of the show. Kind of an exclusive mini-sode for them.
Mini-sode.
Yeah.
I like that. A mini-sode. That's a good
Mhm.
one. Okay, so the next is the pre-launch Prospering with Presenting 75-minute training call. This is something that you offer, Angel. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So this is a call that I give to everybody who gets the premium package, so that you have some of the kind of behind the scenes things that you want to be thinking about once the book goes live, to get you booked, to get you out there, to get you speaking and presenting your thought leadership and presenting your story and making that impact in the world in a way that will allow you to prosper. And so the Prospering with Presenting call basically goes over my more than almost 2 decades now. It's almost 2 decades of being in this space, in the personal and professional development space, and utilizing primarily virtual speaking, but Prospering with Presenting will prepare you for live speaking as well. This actually gives you my kind of behind the scenes things that you need to be thinking about that you might not even know that you don't know yet, so that you're really prepared when the book goes live to maximize the investment and to maximize the momentum of the launch, to get more visibility and to get more impact, and to, of course, get more income if that is something that is on your radar screen. We love to have you create more income and to prosper with your wisdom. We want, my intention is to help people to convert their wisdom into wealth, because the more you are able to open yourself up to share your story and utilize your story and leverage your story to impact and shift and motivate and inspire and incite other people to invest, to work with you, then the better off you're going to be, the better off they're going to be, and the better off the world is going to be. This is the transforming worlds part of our subtitle.
I love that we had that 75-minute call with you last time, and just really opened my eyes to some things. And like you said, we don't know what we don't know. And you may have trained with this person and that person, but everybody's coming from a different perspective. And so, Angel's knowledge is different than other people's knowledge, and hers might be that click, that link that you need in order to open up your mind to the different possibilities, different opportunities that are out there. And so there was like one thing in particular that you said, Angel, that I was like, oh my God, like this totally blew my mind. And so this is really, there are a lot of things that you did that, but there was that one thing in particular that like, boom, it really stood out to me. And I have incorporated it into my daily life. So thank you very much for that. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So next we have the prepped to present. You like the letter P, I think.
I like alliteration.
Yeah, yes, you do. Well, would you say wealth into
Wisdom into wealth.
Wisdom into wealth. That's right. Prepped to present virtual speaker packet checklist and template. So why don't you talk about those?
Sure. So just so everybody's clear, I actually spent the last almost 2 decades primarily doing virtual speaking long before Corona and long before everybody got on the train to do virtual speaking. So I have generated multiple millions from home, mostly in my pajamas or my yoga pants. And I have been heard by millions of people around the world because when I first got the call to step into this space and to start to share my story and to serve people, I was going into my second divorce, and my kiddo was going into puberty. And I knew I needed to speak, but I also knew that I could not be on the road 265 out of 365 days of the year, which was pretty much what the speaking model looked like back then in 2008 when I got activated. And so I have spent the last almost 2 decades of my career generating multiple millions from home and being heard by millions of people around the world using the power of virtual speaking, which is basically what we're doing right now. And now everybody's doing it, or a lot more people are doing it. But these packets, the Prep to Present checklist and the Prep to Present packet, actually prepares you so that when you are either approached by somebody to speak on their stage, or you're going out and looking for those bookings, you will become much more bookable because you are partnering with the host in ways that most people don't. I've had so many comments on my speaker packet and my template that I give to hosts that they say it's the most thorough packet of information that they have ever been given by any speaker. And so I'm giving that to you if you decide to become part of our party here. And it will actually elevate you professionally in the speaking community when you show up looking, like not only super professional, but somebody who is going to partner with the host in a way that makes it a real win-win for everybody, rather than the host having to be chasing you for your headshot or whatever. So there's a lot of that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize. And I didn't realize it when I did my first summit, Lynda. I was like, had these people who for me were famous people at that time back in 2006. And I was shocked by how unprepared behind the scenes most of them were. I was shocked. And so I made it a point to always be, giving my hosts everything I possibly could in order to make it a real win for all of us. So that's what those two things are. The checklist and the template will help you build out your packet in a way that makes you even more bookable.
That's the key word to make you more bookable.
Bookable.
And then aligning with Angel as well, because she is, number one podcast out there, 13 awards, those, this distinction is being aligned with, people who have been there, done that, have gone there and can help you to get there faster, because a lot of people start podcasts, but I think the vast majority of people don't even make it past the 10 episodes or something. So being aligned with somebody who has been there, has the longevity, she is somebody that can help you to
get
prosper.
Booked.
Right. Yeah. Get booked. Right. Yeah. Turning your wisdom into wealth.
Be heard, get booked, be heard, and make bank.
There we go.
I used to do a talk that was called Get Booked, be heard and make bank. So
There we
yes.
go. Yeah, so we definitely want to be aligned with people who have been there, done that, and are doing it successfully. So next up, I'm just going to share. Again, we mentioned all these different things that you get from being in the book. All these I mentioned all these as part of the professional package, as well as these are part of the professional package. I'm not going to go through them. You guys can read that, and you've already seen it before. And then also the premium package. So we do have these two offerings that we're making today. And if you wanted to join us in the professional package, you can get started today for only $825. You make 4 payments of that. Or you can go the full pay route. If you pay in full, you'll save $300. That was that professional package, the first 2 slides that I showed. And then the premium package, if you want to go for the gusto, you can get started today for only $1,650. And it's making 4 payments of that. And or if you want to pay in full, you can do that for $6,000 and save $600 for doing that. So Angel, if somebody's listening right now and they're like, I'm not sure about the investment, like I'm not sure if maybe I don't have the money right now, or if I'm not sure if this is the best investment for them. What do you have to say to them?
I'm going to come right back to our subtitle, which is Trust Your Intuition. And I will say that over the years that I've been in this realm, I have invested probably close to $1 million. I'm, somewhere between 750,000 and $1 million in all kinds of opportunities, trainings, programs, coachings, mentorships, collaborative books. The only way that you are going to move from where you presently are is to trust your intuition. If this is for you, you're going to know it. It's going to be clear to you. You are going to feel that pull. And sometimes that pull feels scary. Okay. Sometimes that pull feels like, oh my God, I don't know how the heck I'm going to do this. But you cannot deny the pull, because what happens when we deny the pull, it's like, I think it was Oprah who said, somebody said, the universe will whisper and then it will knock and then it will hit you with a 2x4. And so, like, we like it to be easy. So if this whisper, this invitation, which is a whisper, is strumming your heartstrings and you feel that pull, I encourage you to trust your intuition. And what I've found for myself, I found it from my clients, I found it with my colleagues, is that the more that we say yes to having faith in the infinite source that breathes life into you every day, instead of letting our mental body override that intuition, the better life gets. The better it gets, the better it gets. And so I would encourage you to, if you already know this is not for you, then thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming to our presentation. Hope you got something out of it. If it's not for you, then make the decision and move on. If it is for you, make the decision and work with Lynda to discern how you're going to do the investment part. The investment is actually the easiest part of this whole process, because you are entering into a rite of passage, and we would invite you to let us be your midwives for that process, and trust your intuition and take the action so that you can transform your own world first, and then by extension, the worlds that you're here to impact.
You heard it right. If it's decision time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The decision is to either say no or yes. If you're on the fence and aren't sure, hop on a call with us. Sally or I are, we're happy to hop on a call with you to talk through it, to see, how we can help you to make a decision. It's not about seeing how we can help you to decide to work with us. It's about seeing how we can help you to make a decision, yes or no. That's what it's all about. So you can join us at actiontakerspublishing.com/WSW. All the information is on there. The package pricing is on there. The packages are on there. There are testimonials on there. Just everything that you need to help you to make that educated decision. It's all on that page, actiontakerspublishing.com/WSW. And Angel, is there anything you'd like to say to finalize, to wrap this up today?
Yeah, I just want to say what a pleasure it is to work with you and Sally and Action Takers Publishing. I mentioned that I've been in 23 books. I invested several years ago, probably a decade ago, in a book that was a $5,000 investment back then. And it was the most horrible experience I have ever had. And I was embarrassed and ashamed to be part of that
Mm,
book. I want to go back to what you said earlier, Lynda, about, we are curating, intentionally curating the people that we are inviting in. We want those people to be people who trust their intuition, take action, and are here to transform worlds. And we are wanting to have the whole experience be a win for everyone. The last book was an amazing win. It was an astonishing win. I knew that we were going for an international bestseller. I had no idea we were going to end up with 34 different distinctions. Okay. So
mm-hmm.
34 is a ton of different distinctions. And we are, you and I, Lynda, are collaborating in a way, along with the Life is Good organization, that just is additive to all concerned. And that's what my intention is. For those of you who are a yes, we want to make this experience additive to your life. And we want to encourage you to trust your intuition and know that this can be an amazing door opener for you. And I would not be doing this a second time if I had not had such an amazing experience with Lynda. Because I was burned back then with that other book, it took me a long time to make the decision to do these kinds of books for my own brand. And so we would encourage you to become a member of the Wickedly Smart Women community. You become, that's part of the rite of passage. You now can claim yourself as a wickedly smart woman too. And so we would invite you, if this is for you, to say yes. And if you need a little bit of help figuring things out, get on the phone with Lynda. Go to that page, actiontakerspublishing.com/WSW. Get on the phone with Sally. It's either going to be Lynda or Sally. They can support you in how this decision is going to be made and get you to clarity. Clarity is divinity. And that's our invitation. We'd love to have you join us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angel. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Truly appreciate you. I see you stayed on the whole time, which is awesome. That means there was something here that was of interest that you wanted to learn a little bit about. If you're not sure about making the decision today, that's okay. Just like I said, hop on a call with me or Sally Larkin Green, and one of us can help you to make that decision, just to decide what you're going to do. And what I'm going to do is play a quick testimonial here so you can hear one of our authors, her recent experience with one of our most recent books. And Angel, thanks for bringing this to us, and thanks for trusting us, trusting us again. So you had that first time of like, okay, well, how's this going to be? And then now you're like, okay, it was so good. Let's do it again. And so thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you.
Well, I really appreciate you, Lynda. You have always been, just a champion for what we're doing here. And I am really grateful for the opportunity to to play together with you again.
Yes, let's keep doing it. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Thank you so much.
You took the overwhelm out of the whole entire process. You said you set the guidelines, you said how many words to have. And it's like, once I sat down and started typing, it just all came out so quickly and so easily. And I loved it. And I had fear to write. And I know about that. I know about that blockage within myself, but it just was so amazing how easy the process was working with Action Takers Publishing.
This opportunity came out of nowhere. but it brought so much to my life, just knowing you guys and just meeting with all the authors. But to be able to put my story out there, and just it's like one of these things where you start doing it, you can't stop. So I'm gonna be in the next book. It's just the whole process is easy. You feel support, and it's just like being #1 seller. It just feels amazing.
One of the things that I've personally found from my experience of working with Action Taken Publishing is that I've walked away with more friends than I had before, because of the relationship that you build with the authors while working in an anthology. I think it's an amazing project to be able to get published. It's a fantastic way to get published the first time, and I've almost seen people who get hooked on doing anthologies, because once that bug is bitten, you feel like you can release more and more and more and more stories, and Lynda's got a bunch of titles that I think resonates with a lot of us who live in the real world.